Upon receiving the divorce certificate from the Civil Affairs Bureau and preparing to leave, Ben stopped me. "Nina, Sophia is emotionally unstable right now. Once she safely gives birth to the child, I'll come back and remarry you." He spoke lightly. His ex-girlfriend Sophia, a wealthy heiress, was unmarried and pregnant, to spare her from gossip and provide her child with a legitimate identity. For money, he chose to divorce me and take care of her. On our wedding anniversary, I arrived home early and prepared a sumptuous dinner table. I planned to wait for Ben to return from work and celebrate properly. However, Ben had not yet arrived home. The doorbell rang, ushering in an uninvited guest, Ben's ex-girlfriend Sophia. I first met her at my wedding with Ben. She wore a pristine white gown, appearing more like a bride than I did, sitting at a table with Ben's close friends, drawing numerous glances and whispers, and even prompting comparisons between her and me. Before the toasts, Ben confessed to me that she was his ex-girlfriend. A spoiled rich girl with a bad temper, he needed a marriage partner, not to be someone's bootlicker ending up with nothing. He told me their relationship had long ended, but she insisted on attending his wedding, and he had no choice. At that moment, seeing Sophia suddenly at the door, I was somewhat stunned. Especially noticing her slightly protruding abdomen, thoughts of Ben's infidelity during marriage, deception, and betrayal flashed through my mind. I feigned composure. "Ben hasn't returned yet. Do you have business with him?" "Rest assured, the child in my belly isn't your husband's." Sophia discerned my thoughts, pushed me aside, entered, and surveyed the place where Ben and I lived, a 3-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment under 100 square meters, with a hint of disdain in her eyes, as she stroked her protruding abdomen. "I've come to ask him for a small favor. Once it's done, I'll give your husband a sum of money, enough for you to upgrade to a larger house." Sophia spoke with an arrogant tone. Hearing that the child in her womb wasn't Ben's, I secretly breathed a sigh of relief and didn't inquire further about the favor. It was between her and Ben. I didn't know what Ben discussed with Sophia in the study after he returned. After seeing Sophia off, Ben showed a somewhat troubled expression and said to me, "Nina, Sophia wants me to help her with a favor, and afterward, she'll give me $3 million. Do you think I should help?" "What favor is worth $3 million? For salaried workers like us in a third-tier city, working hard for a year, no, not even a year, even 10 years, we couldn't earn that much. The wealthy are indeed generous." "What favor? Tell me." I felt somewhat tempted, thinking as long as it didn't involve treason, illegality, or violating moral principles, for $3 million's sake, what harm in letting Ben help her? "She wants to find a father for the child in her belly, to give birth legitimately and avoid gossip. We'll have a fake divorce. I'll accompany her for a while, and once her child is born and registered, I'll divorce her immediately." Ben's eyes held expectation, hoping I'd agree immediately. I stared at him incredulously. Divorcing me, calling it a fake divorce, him accompanying his ex-girlfriend through pregnancy, marrying her, waiting for her to give birth, and then her giving him $3 million afterward. And what about me? Do they take me for a fool? Why did she choose you and not someone else? Probably because I'm her ex-boyfriend. She thinks I'm more suitable than others. Ben said this with smug satisfaction. "Then how will we divide the property and the divorce?" I asked tentatively. "Divide what? It's a fake divorce. Besides, we don't have much in savings. The most valuable is this house. Our family paid the down payment. Your family contributed to the renovation, which isn't much in total." The implication was divorce without dividing property. The property deed had only his name. Of course, he'd agree to such a divorce without splitting assets. Who would protect my rights? "I'll think about it." "Right, don't tell my parents. I don't want them to know." Ben asked me to keep it from his parents, but just 2 days later, my mother-in-law suddenly called me while I was at work. I heard Ben's ex-girlfriend came to reconcile with him. She bluntly stated right away. "She's heavily pregnant with a child. Not to mention, I opposed your marriage to Ben from the start. You're an outsider with only a junior college degree. How are you worthy of my son? Don't mind my harsh words, you've been married for over 2 years, and since you're not having children anyway, better to leave my son sooner." I didn't know where she heard that Sophia was pregnant with Ben's child. Thinking they had latched onto this wealthy heiress, she spoke without restraint, each word piercing my heart. My mother-in-law and I had incompatible personalities, but fortunately, we didn't live together. We only cohabited briefly during holidays. Each conflict was instigated by her, and Ben always sided with his mother, saying I was immature. I pressed the record button and confirmed with her again, "Are you sure you want Ben to divorce me?" "Of course. Ben's father is too embarrassed to say it, so I'll tell you straight, our family can do without you, but not without the child." "You mean I'm less important than the child in Sophia's belly?" During our 2 years of marriage, Ben's mother constantly urged us to have children, saying she'd raise them and we wouldn't need to worry. But Ben and I wanted to wait until we had some savings, which was a point of conflict between her and me. "That goes without saying, hurry up and divorce Ben, don't drag it out, lest it affects our preparations for Ben and Sophia's wedding." Ben's mother spoke as if it were obvious, commanding, "Sophia's family is wealthy, unlike yours, stingy and petty. They didn't even prepare a substantial dowry for their daughter. Your father died early, and his compensation must have been at least $1 million or so, yet your mother only contributed to the new house's renovation, still holding 70 or 80,000, and she wasn't willing to spend on your wedding." I moved the phone away from my ear, disgusted by Ben's mother's words. She had actually coveted my father's compensation and calculated how much my mother had left. Like mother, like son, I had to plan for myself. That evening, I pushed the drafted divorce agreement in front of Ben. "If you agree to sign, tomorrow we'll go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to handle the divorce procedures. There's still a 1-month cooling-off period." Ben carefully read the divorce agreement, his face changing instantly. He slammed the table, stood up, and yelled at me, "What do you mean? You don't trust me? Didn't I tell you it's just a fake divorce, yet you want me to compensate you with 500,000? Seeing his furious expression, as if he wanted to devour me, my heart grew colder. "You're angry over this? Ben, have you ever loved me?" "Of course I love you." Ben replied immediately. "Why can't I feel your love?" I stood up and met his eyes. "Ben, I'm scared, afraid you'll abandon me. Why can't you give me some security? Didn't Sophia say she'd give you 3 million afterward? At least half of the money you earn from her is mine. What's wrong with me asking for 500,000 in advance?" A trace of annoyance appeared on Ben's face. "You don't trust me. Nina, you're my wife, husband and wife are one." I looked at him calmly. "Is 500,000 a lot?" At the wedding, because I was marrying far away, my mother, considering his parents' hard work and their younger son in college, symbolically went through the motions without demanding a bride price from the Tang family. His mother gleefully boasted at the wedding that her eldest son Ben was capable, marrying a wife without spending a dime. Her words made my maternal family uncomfortable. My mother spent over 200,000 on renovations. After marriage, most of your salary subsidized your parents for your brother's education. When rebuilding the old house, your parents couldn't afford it, so they sent your uncle and third uncle to our home to take 50,000 from me. Last year, your brother borrowed another 20,000 from me for his postgraduate entrance exam. This isn't even a detailed account. One must have a conscience. You've never given me a penny. All household expenses were from me." Ben gritted his teeth. "Fine. I'll borrow money to gather 500,000 for you." Ben started a cold war with me, brazenly calling Sophia in front of me on speakerphone. "Nina demands 500,000 first before agreeing to divorce me." 500,000, trivial, it's not even 10 o'clock, come over and get it." Sophia's coquettish voice came through. "Now? Okay, I'll come right away." As if to spite me, fearing I couldn't hear, Ben emphasized his last words heavily, grabbed his coat, didn't glance at me, and slammed the door shut. Bang! The door closed heavily, as if pounding on my heart, tears uncontrollably falling. That night, Ben didn't return at all. I admit I'm selfish, but I can't gamble on human nature. I'm just an ordinary person. For 3 consecutive days, Ben didn't come home. I saw in his moments a deliberate 9-grid photo post, side profiles of him and Sophia dining at a restaurant, him holding her hand with fingers interlocked, Although Sophia didn't show her full face, the person by his side wasn't me. His friend commented, "Really envy you and sister-in-law." Soon, this post was deleted, or perhaps he blocked me. Sophia approached me, arranging to meet at the coffee shop downstairs from my company. "Ben's parents think I'm pregnant with his child. Yesterday they brought bags of supplements for me. What should I do?" It was evident she came specifically to flaunt. I lowered my head, looking at the coffee in the cup before me, said nothing, picked it up and took a sip. The coffee was very bitter. 500,000 is a bit much, 300,000 is fine. If you agree, I'll transfer it to you now. Sophia smiled as she negotiated terms. I looked at her seriously. "I only want the money transferred by Ben, 500,000, not a penny less." Upon receiving the 500,000 transferred by Ben, I didn't hesitate, signed the divorce agreement with him, and submitted the divorce application at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Ben looked at me, hesitant to speak. "Nina." At the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance, upon learning I demanded 500,000 from her son, Ben's mother hurriedly took a taxi over, got out, rushed straight at me, slapped me publicly, and cursed foully. "You jinx, why demand money from my son? Are you worth 500,000? Greedily demanding 500,000 from my son, pa. You little bitch raised by your mother without a father, no wonder your dad died early. I think he was cursed by you and your mom." Ben's mother spat while cursing vilely and harshly. Ben stopped his mother, hugging her tightly. "Mom, what are you saying? Mom. Mom. Nina, don't misunderstand, my mom didn't mean it, she." I didn't listen to Ben defending his mother, turned and left, taking a taxi. I pulled up the packed luggage, leaving the home Ben and I built and lived in for 2 years, leaving the key. The moment I closed the door, my heart soured, tears welled up. I knew Ben and I could never go back, the marriage was over. I called my mother, telling her about my divorce from Ben. She was surprised but soon calmly accepted it. "Divorcing is good, I never wanted you to marry far away anyway, and luckily you have no children." After the divorce procedures, I plan to return. "Good, I'll wait for you." "Mom, didn't you want to change your lifestyle? Sell the house, let's go to the Northeast, Uncle and others are there to look after us." "Okay. I'll call your uncle." The next day, at the company, I submitted my resignation. The supervisor asked in surprise, "You're doing well, why suddenly resign?" "Sorry, supervisor, due to personal reasons, I'm getting divorced." "Ah, isn't your partner quite good-looking and handsome? Last time during the heavy rain, he drove to pick you up, he seemed like a nice person. How did it come to divorce?" "He has other intentions." "Cheated, huh?" The supervisor looked at me deeply with sympathy and signed the approval. During the 1-month cooling-off period, seeing I hadn't returned home for days, Ben came to the company to explain. "Nina, don't be angry, my mom is like that, for my sake, don't hold it against her." I looked at him today, dressed in a suit and tie, appearing refined and talented. The tie he wore, however, wasn't a color I was familiar with. The original affection, care, details, and heart flutters for him had long vanished. "Rest assured, I wasn't thinking of hitting back, you don't need to come specifically for me. It was my negligence that wronged you." Ben wanted to step forward to comfort me. I stepped back. "It's fine, haven't I suffered enough grievances from your mom? One more doesn't matter." It was also the last time. "Come home, don't stay outside, it's inconvenient and unsafe, we're just fake divorcing, my mom doesn't know, but don't you?" Just then, his phone rang. It was Sophia calling. Upon hearing she was at the hospital, having accidentally fallen, and the doctor saying there were signs of miscarriage, his tension and worry were visibly apparent. "How could you be so careless? Does your belly hurt? Wait for me, I'm coming right away." After instructing her, he put down the phone and said to me, "I must go to the hospital now. Sorry, Nina, don't misunderstand, I'm just going to take care of her, no other intentions, even without the money, as a friend, I should go, understand?" I didn't try to retain or stop him, watching him leave quickly. On the day the cooling-off period ended, I calmly entered the Civil Affairs Bureau with Ben and received the divorce certificate. As I prepared to leave, Ben stopped me. Nina, move back home. Without you, home doesn't feel like home. My mom wanted my brother to move in, but I refused. Sophia is emotionally unstable now. Once she safely gives birth, I'll come back immediately and remarry you. He looked at me with some expectation in his gaze. While Ben tried to retain me, his mother appeared again. I looked in the direction she came from, seeing a shadow in the car. As expected, it was her, Sophia. Son, you've already divorced her, why waste words on her? Ben, keep an eye on your mom. If she dares to hit me again and you don't stop her, I won't mind getting back at you in public. I hardened my face. When Ben's mother rushed forward intending to hit me again, I pushed her into Ben's arms and glared at him fiercely. Ben seemed to react only then, hugging his mother. Mom, why did you come to make trouble again? Didn't I tell you to wait at home? Ben's mother struggled. Let me go. I want to have a good talk with that doombringer. Too lazy to deal with their mother-son duo, I walked to the roadside, hailed a taxi, and left. After completing the work handover, I officially resigned from the company. That evening, I treated several familiar colleagues to a nice restaurant for dinner, thanking them for their care and help over the past 2 years. Everyone drank and chatted merrily, discussing the future, blessing me, hoping for my new beginning. At the table, a fish dish came to me. I picked up a piece of fish with chopsticks and put it in my mouth. My stomach churned, I couldn't hold back, ran to the restroom, vomited profusely, until I was slumped over the sink, unable to straighten up. Colleague Maggie, with experience, saw me like this, gently patted my back, and said, "Tomorrow, go to the hospital for an ultrasound." I'll go to the hospital after I return home. It won't matter in a day or two, otherwise, I'll take leave tomorrow to accompany you. No need, I'll go myself. It wasn't until I received the ultrasound results from the doctor, saying I was pregnant with a 7-week embryo, that I suddenly realized Maggie's insistence on me getting the ultrasound. Without consulting anyone, I directly scheduled an abortion for the next day. I didn't want to return home pregnant with Ben's child, worrying my mother. This child came at the wrong time. If I hadn't divorced Ben, for the child's sake, I think I'd have chosen tolerance like most mothers, muddling through life with him. However, there are no ifs. I know this decision is selfish, unable to guarantee the child's future. I can only control myself not to give birth indiscriminately, while it's not yet formed. Ben accompanied Sophia to the hospital for a checkup, and Sophia sharply spotted me. I was queuing for the lab results. "Oh, it's your ex-wife, why not go see?" Sophia released her hold on Ben's arm and pointed at me. Ben walked over and asked, "What's wrong with you?" Not wanting such a coincidence, meeting him and Sophia at the hospital, I lied, "Nothing, just a bit of stomach discomfort, came to the hospital for a check, getting lab results." "Is it serious?" "Let me accompany you." Ben showed a gentle, caring side, as if we were still married. "No need, I can do it alone, you go with her." I didn't want any more entanglement with him. Sophia timely approached. Today she wore a loose skirt, her belly noticeably larger, flat shoes with buckles on her feet. She glanced at me and said sarcastically to Ben, "What a coincidence, I'm here for a checkup, and your ex-wife is too. Not stalking us, is she?" "You're overthinking, I'm not that idle." When it was my turn, I got the lab sheet and turned to leave. Sophia snatched the results from my hand, looked, and her face changed drastically. She quickly concealed it, not letting Ben see the words on the lab sheet, and sent him away. "Go to the car and get my bag, it is last time's check sheet, the doctor might need it." Ben looked at her, then at me, and turned to go. Once Ben left, Sophia revealed her true colors. "You're pregnant?" "Ben's?" I stepped forward, snatched the lab sheet back, and slapped her crisply across the face. "None of your business." "Sophia, that time at the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance, you deliberately called Ben's mother, right? Watching me get hit made you feel good, didn't it? You dare hit me?" Sophia, slapped by me, glared viciously. She tried to retaliate, but I grabbed her. If not for her being pregnant, I wouldn't have stopped at one slap. "Yes. I called Ben's mother, what about it?" "Let go. If Ben sees you like this, do you think he'll still want you?" She threatened me with Ben. How ridiculous. He and I are already divorced. Surrounding people cast surprised glances. I flung her wrist away, without much force. Sophia, as you wished, Ben and I have come to this. I hope you know when to stop. You dare hit me, I won't let you off. Ignoring Sophia's clamor, I took the lab sheet to the gynecology department for the scheduled abortion, signed the informed consent. Lying on the cold operating table in the surgery room, feeling the bond in my abdomen being removed by surgical instruments. After the surgery, I lay in the recovery room for a while. As the anesthesia wore off, pain surged, my lower abdomen aching. The doctor instructed me on post-abortion precautions: don't touch cold water, avoid spicy foods, rest more at home, bed rest for the first 3 days, drink more porridge, delay bathing for a few days. I listened attentively. Suddenly, Ben's mother burst in, yelling, "Damn you, you jinx, who allowed you to abort? You compensate my grandson." The doctor was startled by the sudden madwoman like Ben's mother. She is your ex-mother-in-law. I've divorced her son. Ben's mother caused a scene in the hospital. She still wanted to hit me, but with doctors and staff protecting me, she couldn't. Resorting to desperation, she smashed things on the doctor's desk to vent. She repeatedly demanded I compensate her precious grandson, to pay $500,000, cursed the doctors as unscrupulous, called me black-hearted. Whatever was vile, she cursed, she was simply a shrew. The doctor had no choice but to call the police. Ben, leaving Sophia, rushed to the police station, saw me, stood in front, and said heartbrokenly, Why didn't you tell me you were pregnant?" His eyes reddened. In front of the police, he tried to pull me but I shook him off. "Telling you or not, does it make a difference? Stop pretending, Ben. If you'd been even a bit better to me, letting me feel hope, I wouldn't have aborted the child." "I didn't know you were pregnant. Didn't you say your stomach was bad?" "I really didn't know you were pregnant." Ben shed tears. I stepped back 2 paces, not believing his tears. "You don't know how your mom found out?" "She ran to the hospital, yelling to hit and kill me, demanding compensation. Opening with $500,000, is the child Sophia's carrying really not yours? Your whole family, don't take me for a complete fool." Ben explained to me, I didn't know what my mom did. Suddenly seeming to think of something, he stared at me intently, asking concernedly, "Did she hurt you?" "Sorry, I know, all along, my mom has wronged you a lot, it's my incompetence, but I truly love you, Nina, you have to believe me. The child Sophia's carrying isn't mine, really not, I guarantee." At this point, he still said he loved me, that Sophia's child wasn't his. What could that change? Your mom likes Sophia a lot, just follow her wishes and live with Sophia. I left the police station. Ben chased out, "Nina, you must believe me, the child Sophia's carrying really isn't mine. I agreed to her, to take care of her, just for the money, so we could have money later and live better. It really is for the money. Nina, believe me, okay?" Seeing his urgent manner not seeming fake, I endured my physical discomfort and straightened his clothes. "Ben, you're a good person, filial to parents, helping your brother, considering the family, your parents must be proud of you. No matter the future, I hope you see things through, don't waste previous efforts." "What?" Ben momentarily didn't understand my meaning. I hailed a taxi and said to Ben, "Go in and pick up your mom, don't let her wait anxiously inside. Nina, you just had an abortion, you need care, come home, I'll take care of you. Once you're recovered, we can have children later." At that moment, I believed he still had me in his heart. But we couldn't go back. "Go pick up your mom, I'll take care of myself." I returned to the temporary residence and rested for 2 days. Once Ben and I rented here, had some beautiful memories. When I dragged my luggage to find the landlord, telling her I wanted to stay a bit longer, about a month, she agreed. After 2 days of takeout, on the 3rd day, I booked a sleeper ticket home for 4 days later. Jason's call came, I answered. "Sister-in-law, do you have money left? Lend me some more, I've got a girlfriend." "What for borrowing money?" I didn't believe he was unaware of my divorce from Ben. My girlfriend is pregnant, she doesn't want the child, wants to abort. You know my parents, if I ask them for money, they definitely won't give. Borrowing from me? I've divorced your brother, don't you know? You divorced my brother? When? I hung up. After marriage, I was benevolent to Ben's brother. He not only asked Ben for money but also me, this Ben knew. When Ben left Sophia again to find me, I was carrying a bag of groceries from the supermarket back. You resigned, Nina. Why? Are you leaving? He grabbed me, pressed me against the brick wall in the alley, his attitude no longer gentle, face showing annoyed anger. Why? Didn't I explain clearly enough? I was just going to earn money, it was a fake divorce with you, yet you played for real. He was almost entirely roaring. The bag I was carrying fell to the ground, fruits and snacks spilling out. A passerby, seeing him coercing me, thought it was a robber, screamed in fright, hurriedly took out their phone, and immediately called the police. Do you even have a heart? I misjudged you, Nina. He gnashed his teeth. I looked at his bloodshot eyes. You ask if I have a heart, let me play what your mom said. I took out my phone and played the recording. Are you sure you want Ben to divorce me? Of course. Ben's father is too embarrassed, I'll tell you straight, our family can do without you, but not the child. You mean I'm less important than the child in Sophia's belly? That goes without saying, hurry and divorce Ben, don't drag it, lest it affects our wedding preparations for Ben and Sophia. Sophia's family is wealthy, unlike yours, stingy. Didn't prepare much dowry for the daughter, your dad died early, compensation at least $1 million, yet your mom only paid for renovations, still has 70 or 80,000, unwilling to spend on your wedding. I looked at Ben, heard that? I suddenly pushed him away hard, raised my hand and slapped his face. In his stun, I raised a self-mocking smile. I really should thank Sophia, thank her for giving me the chance to see your mom's true face and calculations. No, I didn't know my mom would say such things behind. Ben seemed heavily struck, his momentum weakening suddenly, staggering a step. There are many things you don't know, always using ignorance as an excuse. Remember Chinese New Year back home, I told you the 1,000 yuan under the pillow was gone, that was red envelope money for uncle's kids. I asked you to inquire, you said lost is lost, why ask? Can't treat your family as thieves. In front of you, at the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance, your mom's curses, you remember? There are even more vicious ones, want to hear? You say I played for real, isn't your mom the one taking it seriously? I squatted to pick up the spilled items. Ben still wanted to follow. I glared fiercely, looked at the arriving police. Ben, if you're a man, don't entangle me anymore, cherish your ex-girlfriend, being a cheap dad for a rich family's child suits you well. I don't know how Ben explained to the police to avoid being taken away. However, that evening, his good brother used his phone to call me incessantly, calling me sister-in-law, asking me to pick him up at the bar, saying he was dead drunk, incessantly calling my name. I told him I'd divorced Ben, no relation anymore, if you call to harass again, I won't mind reporting to the police. My mother called, asking when I'd return. She found a buyer for the house, price agreed, just wait for me to return, complete the sale procedures, and we can head to the northeast. Uncle found us a 3-bedroom, 2-living-room house there, not far, just 2 streets away. If not worried my mom would notice something off, I'd have taken the train back long ago. For 2 consecutive days, Ben's brothers and friends called in turns, pleading for Ben, asking me to see him. Sister-in-law, even if angry, give him a chance to reform, right? Yes, some things Ben did wrong, but whose family isn't like that? My wife and mom also clash tempers, often conflict, turn a blind eye, and it passes. As juniors, we can't stoop to elders' level. Ben's heart aches, you can't watch him sink day by day without helping. That woman Sophia has impure motives toward Ben, you can't watch her snatch him away. Ben drank himself into the hospital, had his stomach pumped. Ben's good brother called again, begging me to see him. I went to the hospital, following the ward number given, carrying a basket of fruit. Nearing the ward door, hearing voices inside, I slowed my steps. Big brother, why so stubborn? What's good about her? I say, you should cut ties completely. Where isn't Sister Sophia better than her? It was Ben's brother Jason speaking. So in his heart, I was inferior to Sophia. You drank to gastric bleeding, and she doesn't come see you, such a heartless woman. Divorcing her was right. Unwilling to listen further, I carried the fruit basket to the nurse's station. Leaving the inpatient ward, I bumped into Sophia. What are you here for? To see Ben. She blocked my path, accompanied by a man like a driver, both hands carrying supplements. I glanced at her belly. Miss Sophia, what I'm here for has nothing to do with you, right? I remember, didn't you say the child in your belly isn't Ben's? Miss Sophia, I want the truth. From the beginning, were you scheming Ben and me, wanting us to divorce? Anyway, I was leaving soon. She, with her big belly, wasn't worried, daring to block me. What did I fear? I took out my phone. The hospital had surveillance everywhere. Sophia listened and scoffed, not taking my words seriously, boldly admitting, yes, I schemed. What can you do about it? She laughed triumphantly, unconcerned about passers-by's gazes. Only when I, Sophia, get tired and discard something. How dare Ben dump me and marry you? The child in your belly should be his, right? This was my intuition. My sixth sense told me, for a paranoid person like Sophia, unmarried and pregnant, it must not be a stranger's seed. Mentioning the child, Sophia laughed more unrestrainedly. The child in my belly indeed isn't his, but I lied to him, saying it is. Otherwise, why do you think he'd willingly accompany me to birth the child, content to be the father? Doesn't he know you lied? I didn't know which of this woman's words were true or false. By intuition, this paranoid woman was capable of anything. Better to stay far from her. I silently stepped back 2 paces, widening the distance, looked up at nearby surveillance, but unexpectedly saw a figure approaching, Ben's mother. Even if he knows I lied, what can he do? Really can't tell. Your heart is ruthless, getting the lab sheet knowing you're pregnant. I thought you'd keep the child. Aren't you afraid Ben's mom finds out the child isn't Ben's? I asked deliberately. Afraid of what? That snobbish old hag annoys me to death. Ben's mother heard every word Sophia said to me. The insulated lunch box in her hand fell to the ground, spilling dishes, rice, and soup everywhere. What did you say? The child in your belly isn't Ben's? Ben's mother stared fixedly at Sophia's belly, questioning loudly, You're not pregnant with Ben's child, whose then? You slut, I treated you sincerely, yet you badmouth me behind my back. She said, then looked at me, pointing, and you. The one I aborted was Ben's child. It was you who said the child in her belly is more important than me. Having exposed Sophia face to face, I turned and left. I heard Ben's mother howl behind, pouncing at Sophia, I'll fight you, it's all you, slut, give back my precious grandson. Stop her, quickly stop her. Sophia screamed, protecting her belly and running. The man with her quickly put down his things and stepped forward to block the maddened Ben's mother. Passers-by only saw a mad old woman chasing a pregnant woman, yelling to hit and kill. Away from the chaos, I couldn't help but look back, seeing Ben's mother pinning Sophia, pulling her hair, Sophia half kneeling, half sitting on the ground, some voices audible from afar. Give back my grandson, slut, give back my grandson. Accompanied by Sophia's screams. The man with Sophia pulled Ben's mother, neither hitting nor cursing. I sent the recording of Sophia's words to Ben. As former spouses, this was the last thing I did for him. After sending, Ben called, but I didn't answer. Back at the residence, I blocked and deleted Ben and all his related people, relatives, and friends' contacts, picked up my luggage, and headed straight to the train station. A week later, after selling the old home, the night before my mother and I prepared to leave, we checked into a hotel. Colleague Maggie contacted me on WeChat. Nina, telling you something satisfying, your ex-mother-in-law was arrested. She beat a pregnant woman to miscarriage. During the time you left, the pregnant woman was too far along, caused massive bleeding, almost fatal. The matter has spread here. Someone uploaded a video. It has your husband, no, your ex-husband. Blood everywhere. That pregnant woman was the mistress seducing your ex, truly karma. When Ben sold the house, plus his father's savings, totaling over $800,000, of which $500,000 was Ben repaying Sophia's loan, over $300,000 as compensation to Sophia, getting her to sign a forgiveness letter to bail Ben's mother from detention, by the time Ben chased to my hometown. My mother and I had already left. We started our new life on the vast Northeast Plains.